Hello and welcome to Bookshelf. Today we will be discussing not about one book but some very interesting facts about books. To start with, I'll tell you about two books that have very interesting titles. The first one is Days at the Morisaku Bookshop, written by Satoshi Yagisawa. It is a Japanese book translated into English. The second one is Door to Door Bookstore. This is written by German writer Carsten Henn. The title sounds very good and has something to do with books and bookstores, so I have picked up them. Sometime later I will try to review the books. Now here is a tidbit. Mystery of Missing Jewels. This is a book written by a 10-year-old Daivik who is a 5th class student. Good that he took to writing at a very young age. Now, I'll be telling you some very interesting facts about books. I'll also be doing some episode on bizarre nature of books later. But here we begin with Iceland. What's so interesting about Iceland? It's a very small island country, but this small country tops the world in per capita book reading. I repeat, per capita book reading. At a time when reading habits are falling down, Iceland stands tall in per capita book reading in the world. Here is a shocker. In Brazil, they have an innovative idea to increase the reading habits. In Brazilian prisons, reading a book can reduce a prisoner's sentence by 4 days. One book, 4 days. Sounds strange, but it's true. We cannot verify the scientific veracity, but a WhatsApp forward says that people who read books are less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease. Okay, next. Virginia Woolf, the prominent 20th century modernist English writer and the author of Mrs. Dalloway, wrote all her books standing. Yes, she wrote all her books standing. Some people, mostly in the older generations, have the habit of writing while standing. You remember stenographers were in great demand once? The boss dictates and the steno notes down in shorthand, standing. Of late, the art of standing and writing also have come down with the voice to text apps. But it is a strange fact that Virginia Woolf wrote her books while standing. Okay. People speak about voracious readers. Roosevelt, it said, read an average of one book per day. It's not impossible. In the times of Roosevelt, there were no distractions, no cell phones, and no other distractions. So it should be possible. Franklin D. Roosevelt was a wartime president of United States of America. Do you know on which subject was the maximum number of books written? It's a game and has 64 checks. That's right. There are more than 20,000 books written on chess. In the days of computer-generated games, maybe the number did not increase, but chess has the most number of books. Now, what is the longest word? Yes, what is the longest word? A joke says it smiles. Why? Because there is a mile between the first S and the last S. That's just a joke. Can you imagine the longest sentence and how many words it carries? The longest sentence ever written has 823 words. Yes, 823 words. Just imagine 823 words to complete a sentence. Maybe with clauses, punctuation marks, but still a long sentence. It was written by Victor Hugo, and the book is Les Miserables. The novel is about the inequalities in France. Coming to volume of books and library, New York Public Library has the biggest collection of books. Instead of giving the number, a wise man said, if all the books of the library are lined up, they would stretch up to 8 miles. 8 miles. It works out to roughly 12.8 kilometers. Okay. The habit of writing is slowly shrinking. I mean handwriting, not typewriting. But I tell you something very surprising. War and Peace. It is a very famous book. It's written by Leo Tolstoy. It's a big book. It has some 1,234 pages, roughly. 1234, 1234 pages, and has some 587 million words if you are reading in English. Well, that is not the record. The record is Leo Tolstoy's wife, Sofia Tolstoya, had copied the manuscript 7 times. Imagine copying the manuscript 7 times. Great people. When it comes to dictionaries, Noah Webster took about 36 years to compile his first dictionary. Which book has the maximum number of characters? Obviously, Mahabharata. It has 1200 characters. Yes, 1200 characters. No other book has that many characters. That's all for this week. See you in the next episode. Thank you.
Please subscribe to the channel and download the Politikos app from the links in the description.